Leroux, maybe if you could just start with your thoughts on the trophy.
On the trophy?
We heard you waxing lyrical about it.
Oh, absolutely impressed. I think it's inspiring to see that, we always want to innovate things and always wanted football to be better. Not just in the football field, but outside the football field as well. So seeing that trophy, being revealed in SAFA, what a great honor, for us to do that, because I think the teams that will be competing for that, they will want to put, they'll want to make history, in having their names on that trophy for the first time, and it's encouraging for the players and inspirational, for them, since we know that this is a massive competition, for the clubs, and to encourage other clubs in the country to get involved, and to showcase the talent that we have, because we have the quality in clubs, to compete and to make sure that we bring the silverware back home.
So in terms of teams doing well on the African continent, the likes of Sundowns, how does it for Bafana? Do you think it won't help for the national team?
Absolutely. I think it's just not only Sundowns, but we have a lot of pilots who missed out. We've got the thing in Cape Town, Stellenbosch in Cape Town, that they participated, which is great for us. We want to see more clubs from South Africa to compete in that level, to improve the level of the game and the players that play there, because it's a great opportunity, to bring value in the game, in the football, in this country, especially when you talk about the national team, where you can see that, things are promising, Hugo Bros, is cooking something that's great, and the glory is nearly coming back home. With the under 20, fantastic, under 17s, it's brilliant. So that's what we need. We need to see the improvement in South African football, and in order to make sure that we compete at the highest level. But again, we have to be consistent, in bringing success, and in making sure that in Africa or in the world we make a statement and we make a great impact.
You speak of just Stellenbosch, and they're in the Confed Cup, the club that you're a legend of goes back there next season. Do you think Coach Nasreddine Nabi is the man to take them there and even maybe into the next season?
To be honest, if Nabi, has the necessary support, from the club, I believe that, yes, we are hungry for success. This is the club that has a great brand, not just in South Africa, but in Africa as well. So the support is very crucial, in terms of investing in the club, to make sure that they bring the success back. And I think that's where they are, the management that they're talking about, and they've only started locally, after winning the Nedbank Cup. And they have, for them, it's a great platform, to be able to continue from that. But I think the most crucial thing is to invest and make sure that they create a team that will consistently bring trophies and compete in the highest level.
So do you back Nabi to continue as coach?
It's a pity that you judge the coaches by their work, and the results says a lot about that. And he's got a great result. He wasn't great in the league, but I think he brought back the one thing that we haven't had in the longest time ever, which is a trophy. And I think for me, I think Nabi deserves another season, to be able to say, yes, we see where Nabi is heading, and if he repeats and bring consistency to the club and get better in the league, which is important, we need to challenge for honours now, not just for trophies, but for honours and play in Africa. The club has to invest in players to be able to reach the success that they want to.
Bro, when you started playing international football, the continent was a completely different place in terms of facilities, organization, professionalism. How far have we come as African football? It's quite chalk and cheese to what it is now compared to those 4 days.
4x4 days. I think, the things that you can't compare those days and today's where the current years where football has evolved a lot. There's a lot of technology involved in the game. The fields are absolutely top class now. The organization itself, preparations in the games is totally changed from what we're used to. We had a quality team at the right time, whereby now, you are able to develop that quality and consistently and be able, to reach the success that you need. And improve clubs and football, in our country, and which I'm proud that we started that, the winning ways and bringing glory to the country, because it serves as a reference, to the current players and the teams. But I think it'd be great going forward in terms of the national team as well, because that means the quality that we'll be getting from the clubs is the one that will compete and bring the glory back in terms of when we compete on the AFCON or qualifying for the World Cup.
Mr. Lucas, from a player's perspective, of course, how important it is to have companies like TotalEnergies continuously, continue to inject, investment into the African football project?
I think as African footballer, being part of, we've always played second fiddle, to Europe. And we've always wanted to say we want to be able to compete at a level, but I think we are different, and for us to have the backing of the sponsors that we have, like TotalEnergies, we would be able to compete, or to be able to reach the levels that we need to, as players, because it inspires us as individuals, as footballers as well, to be able to compete against the best in the world, and with the support of this and the support of the sponsors, because they play a massive role in making sure that we arrive or we do get involved in participating in these competitions.
Lucas, maybe you speak very fondly of how proud you are currently of South African football, which is where we are. But also maybe in terms of the running of South African football.
Yeah.
We see the president in and out of courts, all kinds of allegations. And I ask you this because I know you've put your hand up as wanting to be the president of the association.
Sure.
When certain things go on, how does that taint, number one, the reputation or the good stuff that is actually going on the field? And as someone who wants to be in that position, where do you stand and what's your reaction to this?
No, I think obviously, yes. I think we're always looking to improve, our football. We always know the reputation. It's more important than most of the things, especially in terms of attracting partners, and making sure that we've got an asset, that we know that we can trust, that we know that it can go out there and produce the best. But so yes, I still want to contribute towards football, since the game has evolved so much. You've seen today, the trophies matches, where the game is today, and surely our organizations have to be, in a state where the players, not only that, but the employers can be able to execute what they're supposed to do off the field of play before in the field of play. And the reputations that we've been having, which have been negative, it doesn't help the association. But we can grow from that. We can get even better from that. But unless we come together, unless people can come in and say how we can fix this, how we can move forward, how we can develop, not football, how we develop our organization before we can develop football, because that's most important, because we need them to be able to develop our football. It has to filter down, to Hugo Plus. I mean, we've seen the success that we've had this season with the under-20s, under-17s, and Bafana Bafana, they're nearly there, and we need to continue that. And it's important that our reputation doesn't affect the success that we're trying to build, because it's a long-term success that we need, and we need to position ourselves as South African football back in the top 5 in Africa, and possibly challenge the world and be able to participate and take part in the World Cup.